Thanks for coming back to day 3. It's been a fantastic couple days. I am your MC still. I have not been fired. You can clap for me now. You in the back with the good beard, you did not clap. We really appreciate you, and I hope you took the opportunity to sign up and register to be a member of the Association of Marine Corps Logisticians. It's not just for Marines. It is hosted by our good president, and our namesake has the word Marine Logisticians in it. But as you can see, there's been a phenomenal turnout of logistics-minded people from across different industries and services, and coming out here to make an impact. And so continue to help this grow by being a part of that professional organization, and watch as we continue to shape the direction of logistics across multiple services and industry. With that, I will turn it over to Dr. Nathan Bush, who is going to give you the first 2-hour-long keynote.
He exaggerates, hour and a half max. So all of you know me, I think, by now, but I'm Nathan Bush, co-director of the Center for American Studies here at CNU. And I have to say, we are just so delighted to be able to co-host this event with the Association of Marine Corps Logisticians. This is our 4th year hosting this conference with them, and it is an absolute delight. Couple of points of elaboration on this. First of all, thank you again to the leadership of AMSL, especially the esteemed president, Kirk Spangenberg, but also Joshua Gregory Lewis. And by the way, I think we should get an unprompted, well, I'm prompting, but not by him, right? Applause for our MC throughout the last couple of days, Brandon Smart. It's also my pleasure actually, before I do that, let me just also thank our sponsors. Again, I'm sure Kirk is going to mention this in his comments this morning, but this conference would not be able to happen without their support. So we're really grateful for their coming, for their supporting the work that we're doing here. And I'm sure that you've been able to see over the last couple of days, but man, the technologies and the innovations and the services that these companies are providing is just amazing. So if you haven't had the chance to spin through the exhibit hall yet, you really should. All right, now, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce the CNU president, who has generously joined us this morning. President William G. Kelly serves as the 6th president of Christopher Newport University, bringing with him nearly 40 years of distinguished service in the U.S. Coast Guard. Before blessing us here at CNU, his last position within the Coast Guard was as superintendent of the Coast Guard Academy. And in that context, I have to say, he has been so supportive of the work that we do in the national security space, supporting civic education, teaching about the Constitution. I don't want to speak for him in this, but I have to say, from my perspective, I think he gets what we're doing here, right? He's a nationally respected educator. As I mentioned, retired Rear Admiral, was a lifelong public servant committed to excellence, inclusion, and innovation in higher education. Since taking office at CNU, he has launched transformational innovations, from spearheading the design of our strategic compass to his overseeing record-breaking admissions efforts. On that point, applications to CNU have simply skyrocketed under his guidance. And he has positioned CNU as one of Virginia's most dynamic public universities. So again, please join me in welcoming President Kelly.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here, and I apologize I wasn't here on day one, but I'm here on day 3. Kirk, thank you so much for being with us. This is year 4, and we look forward to continuing this relationship as long as we possibly can. General Whaley, thank you, sir, for your continued support. Nathan, thank you for that extended bio. My mom appreciates it. She's not tuned in yet this morning, but I'll make sure that she knows that you've read that. Good. That's great. You know, it's Brandon, you talked about, expanding the reach of this beyond the Marine Corps. And as a 36-year Coast Guard officer, I spent a lot of time in the marine environment. So I understand that this is more than just about the Marine Corps. But it is great to have the Association of Marine Corps logisticians with us today and on board our campus. And, just so you know, we finished that parking lot 8 days ahead of time. We would have let you know that, but usually things don't happen on time or ahead of time. But if anybody was able to sneak into the visitors lot this morning, congratulations on that, and thank you for your patience as we were doing some upgrades before our students arrive back on campus, literally starting next week, and we're excited for that. As Nathan mentioned, we are Christopher Newport University. We're the #1 public regional university in the state of Virginia, and we are honored and privileged to have you on our campus. Part of the price of admission to coming to this conference, other than what you charge, sir, is you got to go home and tell somebody about this university. All right, if you have a high school student, in your house, and they're wondering where they're going to go to college, or you got somebody in your neighborhood, or maybe at your church or in your organizations, please help us spread the word about Christopher Newport University. And Nathan, I'm really excited. Next year, we will have our Science and Engineering Research Center open, 83,000 square feet. Right behind us here. It's got a 2-story drone lab, maker spaces. I think that's a spot where we can definitely leverage for this conference, and we should definitely do that. Just looking at all the drones and other things that we have in the lobby there, it'll be a great opportunity. So we look forward to welcoming you back next year. My son is a lieutenant commander in the United States Coast Guard, and he has the privilege and honor right now to be one of the Coast Guard designees who's attending Marine Corps Command and Staff College. So he's 2.5 weeks in. So I called Pat last night and I said, Pat, give me some help here, man. I need to learn a little bit about Marine Corps. Maybe you got he told me he had some logisticians in his cohort there at Quantico. And he said, Dad, I've been here for 2.5 weeks. I barely figured out how to get from the house to school each and every day. So I gave him a break, and I went to, the next best source, right? So I pulled this out and I said, tell me a little bit about logisticians, help me out here. So, there's some famous quotes from some leaders of the past, right? Napoleon said, right, an army marches on its stomach, right? General Eisenhower said, wars have been won or lost primarily because of logistics. And we know that, and you know that all too well. And then I got to Alexander the Great. My logisticians are a humorous lot. They know they are the first ones I will slay if the campaign fails. So folks, the work you're doing here today is so very important, not only to our nation, but to your own health and safety. So I wish you all the best. Thank you for being here with us today. And as always, go Captains.
Good morning. How we doing? All right. So, funny story, sir, and thank you again, Mr. President. I had that quote from Alexander the Great when I was a Battalion S4 and 3rd Battalion 6 Marines in Iraq, in a little train station in Al-Qaim, and I put that one up on the door, that Alexander the Great quote. And one day, when the battalion commander, then Lieutenant Colonel Dale Alford, some of y'all know Dale Alford, he came back from a patrol. I had it just in an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper that I printed on the printer because I thought it was cool. And he took it out of the document protector on my door. He crossed out Alexander the Great and he wrote Rebel 6. Just to remind me that if things went south, it was, yeah. But anyhow, so thank you again to Christopher Newport. And as the folks who wear the cloth of the nation, and when we get sworn in, we swear an oath to the Constitution. And so one of the things I really appreciate about this organization is your dedication to the founding documents and what you really impart that to the students. And that's part of what you do here is, because as those of us, again, who have worn the cloth, that's what we swear to. And so we really ought to know a lot about it. And this organization teaches about it. And that needs to, we need more of that in the nation. So I do appreciate that. It's part of what we do here, and part of why we love to come here. So we're in day 3, and this, is it good? Yeah, come on.